gentlemen, welcome. This is kind of a special break-in broadcast, the Rocky Stucci Show. Thank you so much for being here. No jokes and no whistling around right away. We're going to get into some business. As you can see, on the other side of me, I do have brother in crime, Glenn Baker, from the former documentary, Finish This Fight, from the former documentary. The creator of the documentary, Finish This Fight. You guys have seen him on the program here. And folks, we have an exclusive interview. We've talked about January 6th quite a bit. We've talked about it for 4 years and the injustice of what's going on, not just with January 6th, but within this nation. And I got a phone call today, and with Glenn is Kenny, and Kenny was just recently released from prison from January 6th. And as you guys know, Glenn Baker, he dealt with similar injustices, and so he was passionate, and he called me up and he says, we got to get this, and so let's get it. So Glenn, just get us up to speed, brother. Let us know what's going on, and we're just going to kind of let this go wherever it needs to go, and I want to make sure that both of you guys just start a conversation, brother.
Absolutely. Well, say hello to Kenny. Actually, I've been told it's Ken. Now, I say Kenny, but I'm pretty special. You know I'm pretty special.
Oh, dude, you made me put Kenny on the freaking... Kenny, that wasn't me, bro. I mean, Ken.
Do I look like a Kenny?
No.
Only my mother called me.
Well, you
Kenny.
don't look like dadgum Ken the doll either, so, you know.
You know what he looks like? He looks like a freaking Ken. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk to me, otherwise I'm going to go get freaking Ken. You know what I'm talking about?
You give me crap every time we get together. I mean, it's either somebody can beat me up or, you know, you call me out being silly. Anyway, y'all say hello to Ken. And Ken got back into Fort Lauderdale last night, right about midnight or close to it.
Midnight.
After spending a while, to call 2 years of last year in the D.C. gulag. So really what I want to do is make this introduction. Unfortunately, my studio is only set up for me with one set of headphones. So what I'd like to do, Rocky, let you guys take off, and I can continue in the conversation.
Why don't you go ahead and just start the conversation with Ken and just give us the breakdown. Tell us let us know what happened from the get-go here. So tell Ken, start at the beginning.
Okay.
Start at the beginning.
So Ken told me the story a while ago when I picked him up and we were in this car. And Ken and I met 4.5, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Is that a fair number?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Before
bro.
the 2020 election.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Sorry you met me that long ago.
I know. But he's so lovable, you can't, you got to.
He is. I can't. Dude, I swam in the pool with him and nobody else was around.
But you were in your underwear too. You forgot that part.
Don't worry about it. You know, I ain't scared, bro. I ain't scared.
Hey, I don't want to, take that picture out of my mind, right?
So we met whenever I was at the very beginning of coming back into country music world. And you were building T-shirts and stuff like that in the political world at that time.
Yeah, Trump had given out the incentive there, and I took that money and opened up a little screen printing business. And it first started with face masks, but I would have China Lied, Americans Died, duct tape, those type of face masks that I built. That's how it started. But it turned into memorabilia, T-shirts, political, Trump, making fun of the Democrats, things like that, flags, banners, all kinds of stuff. And I would go on the weekends, COVID, no work, I'd go on the weekends to all the little local street corner rallies, and I'd set up a tent and put out all my stuff, and hey, I survived.
Yep. Right.
So,
did you go? Did he work the circuit then? Kenny, did you go around working the circuit, doing a lot of the Patriot events?
Yeah, he did some of the local ones a lot. Yeah. I don't know if he did some of the bigger ones.
I went to about 12 of Trump's speeches and set up outside Fort Myers, up in the Panhandle, and then all the ones that he did down here. So I followed, and then at the hotel in West Palm Beach next to the airport, they did a lot of events. Watch parties and stuff like that. I'd set up there, and it was a blast. So
bring us.
I didn't make millions, but hey, I survived.
Yeah, but that's hustling, brother. That kind of stuff is hustling. Going up and setting up the shows and getting everything set up and prepared, and that's the grind, man. But you meet a lot of amazing people. You meet great people through the process. You meet a lot of great leaders through the process. So bring us, brother.
I met him.
Oh, well, okay. Well, some things, unfortunately, what I'm saying?
Here we go again. Here we go again. So he and I met. I was doing some singing at some political events for people that were running against the left here, and we just became friends. And as time moved on, Ken got invited to go up to D.C. for the January 6th event. Was there really as security for a bunch of old people. He got on a bus and went up with a bunch of old people.
So,
Then,
have Kenny give us kind of the breakdown of his day during.
exactly, that's where I'm going to start at. So I wanted to introduce up to that point. I'm going to hand him over the earphones too. Here you go.
Oh, now you got warm, sweaty headphones, bro. I don't know, man. I probably would have rather just not heard.
A little squishy.
It is squishy. I saw it. I don't want to say anything. I saw it. I saw a couple clips. He knows I'm talking shit right now. He knows.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But no, brother, thank you, man. I appreciate you being here. And injustices is an understatement of what we've seen in this country. And honestly, man, I'm going to tell you, with you doing all the events, you and I probably have crossed paths. If not, we know a lot of similar people. I don't even know what truth is anymore when it comes to what their perception of freedom is and reality is in this country, right? I'm not anti anything. I'm pro everything. And that's why I show and express my concern, just like everybody else does. It's because we love it so much. Not that we hate it. It's because we love it.
Right.
So brother, bring us down to the day of J6 and what was, how did you get there? What was your thing? And then tell me, what has changed or what experiences have you gone through, like psychologically or just kind of being involved and then your atrocious experience of being, now you've been detained the entire time?
I was arrested in January of 2022. So I was a year out after January 6th. They came and picked me up.
God, man. It's brother, I tell you, all the people that I've known within the community, I've had personal friends. It was, you felt powerless as a civilian, right? It's like, okay, wait a minute. So that 68-year-old grandma, just because she was walking on the property, now has the FBI knocking on her fucking door, and it's just like, where is that morally and ethically legit? I mean, sooner or later, the policies, man, is one thing, but morality is another thing, bro. And it's like, we have no more morals, it's just like, it's all about dictatorship bullshit.
Yeah.
So tell us about your day, bro.
Sure, absolutely. Like Glenn said, I got an invite on a bus from a church that was bringing up majority older people. They wanted some security. I don't know if you can tell that
I don't want to hear it, baby.
big guy, 6'3", 250, 350 at the moment.
Can you guys do a selfie? If you guys just standing next to each other, you know what I'm saying? And then send it to me. Don't tell Glenn you're sending it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Glenn came and picked me up, and I had to sardine myself into the front seat of his car.
He's been there.
So
I feel you, bro. I almost need a moment of silence for that shit. You know what I'm saying, bro? I've been in that seat for a lot of miles, man. Stress me out.
I put a new dent in it, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
you did.
So we're going on the bus and everything like that, and there was actually 3 buses that went, but there were like close locations by. We all met up at the same place. Everybody loaded the buses, and we took off. So everything's great, honky dory, and we get to DC, and the first thing we do is we walk over to Trump Tower and we go into the Starbucks to grab a cup of coffee. Now, at this point in time, we were like one of the earlier buses, so there wasn't a lot of people. So when we walked in, we were kind of mingling with people that would be normally there.
Yep.
And then you've got us and our swag and
Yep.
and all that kind of stuff. So a little while into it, I make my order, I pay for my coffee, and I'm standing off to the side, and the manager, I guess she looks around and says, "Oh my God, these are all Trump supporters," and
Oh.
she decides that it's time for the masks to go on. Yeah. So, just so happens, because I asked them later, right about that time, 5 DC police officers walk in, all young, I mean, in their 20s.
Of course.
She explains the situation, and everybody that hadn't made their order yet They complied. I'd already made my order. My coffee's ready. It's sitting on the counter right there. I say, listen, guys, hand me my coffee and I'll walk out of here, but I'm not putting my mask on. And they said, I give him his coffee, and I walk outside. And I had a little conversation with them. They came out, and, we talked about, Second Amendment rights. Are you prepared to take your guns away from your parents if you're told to? Stuff like that. And, I gave them, a little talking, and, we bounced some things off of each other. Great bunch of kids, And so on from there, the rally starts. And I started at the top by the monument and worked my way down. The older people wanted to get closer and worked my way down. And we were like pretty much as far as we could go until you'd have to check into the VIP area. So we're down there and everything like that. And
did it feel weird? You know what I'm saying? Did the energy feel weird?
No, the energy did not feel weird.
It was that patriot power, man. That's what it was.
Listen, you've got to understand. No one went there to go and rush the Capitol.
Right.
No one talked about it. No one. When Trump said, "Hey, we're going down to the Capitol," a lot of people at that point in time decided to go. Now, unbeknownst to me, there was probably a few thousand people down there before Trump spoke.
Yeah, but the perception that this mainstream media has given the population of people, which I think is criminal, the perception that they've given the people of this country is that every single human being that was there that day went to the Capitol to go into that son of a bitch and create madness, man. And that
absolutely not.
Pisses me. 100%, brother. And it's just that's when I said that there's this feeling of powerlessness is like when you know this truth and you know all this stuff, but yet the same people that are supposed to protect you from these things that you're being witnessing are the ones that are doing it. And it's just like, where's the help?
Yeah, it's scary.
Brother, where's the help?
It's scary. Well, I think the help just was inaugurated, so.
Amen, bro.
Heads are spinning already.
Dude, I've been watching today just with the immigration, man. They got like a Kirby vacuum on right now, man, and they're literally just. I mean, these people, brother. Listen,
that gives you hope.
Dude,
know what I'm saying?
So for 4 years we had to hear about J6ers, man. For 4 years we had to hear about these people, man. It's pissing me off. But now it's just like we're sitting here looking at the list of these illegals that came into this country while we were talking about J6ers. Dude, we are talking. I mean, I know some criminals, man. And we are talking some of the highest level criminals. I mean, there's Americans that are in jail right now for like their third driving after revocation.
It's ridiculous.
American people running for 6 fucking murders.
And they're getting a debit card with $5,000 on it.
And released after they get arrested.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's nuts. Well, don't forget, prior to January 6th, you had the Summer of Love.
Oh.
Right? I didn't feel
so. You had 500 and there was 560 something. I'm not exact on the numbers. Riots prior to January 6th, and all you heard is no one's getting prosecuted. The police have been told to stand down.
Oh, Kamala tried to raise bail for them when they did get arrested.
Camel Toe raised a fund for bail to get out of jail, free cards. I mean, they were walked in the front door and walked out the back door. No one was getting charged with anything, okay? And the officers were told to stand down. Okay?
Dude, I'm sorry, bro. I mean, just like if you were to kind of like step out, just pretend you weren't even human and you just came into this world and you witnessed that from the outside and you understood how those species work, you would say that, okay, there's a break in the matrix, man, because that's not part of what they're taught is right and wrong, you know?
Absolutely. And they were enabled to continue and keep doing it. And we know there was outside sources paying them.
Yep.
George Soros,
yep.
And all that kind of stuff. Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Now, Antifa, okay, Black Lives Matter started for a purpose, okay? Antifa hijacked that during the riots.
100%.
They were the ones that are running around, breaking the windows and starting fires and doing all the damage. And meanwhile, you got thousands of young people walking down the street just minding their own damn business.
Brother, I'm going to point that out. If I can point that out that you just said that, because, I don't hear a lot of people say that. Okay. And I sure as hell don't hear a lot of people on the left say that either. They don't sit there and say, well, the ones, here, let's not, we try to express that a lot. And it's just like anytime you'd even said the word BLM, you'd get attacked as some kind of a racist Nazi. It's just like, no, we're supporting the hell out of them.
Right.
I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the First Amendment, especially when it's what I don't agree with, right? But when you have, provocateurs that are infiltrating what should be an honorable movement, that you can't even get good leadership in that shit.
And I've got part of my story is some
Go for it. Yep.
some of the things that people thought in the beginning happened, and then we found out, yes, there was FBI and DOJ and all kinds of people in the crowd that were there to, I guess, push it along, you might say.
Make sure everybody's scooting forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep. Everybody go to the front.
Ray Epps.
Yep. 100%. So tons of it.
Where did he go?
I have no idea. That's a great question, really. I mean, when I really lost my shit was when I found out that the air marshals, they no longer did air marshal shit. The only thing they did was follow J6ers in the plane. That's it. Did you know that, Glenn? Good answer.
What he was saying that that the law enforcement basically were taken off their tasks to follow us.
Oh, absolutely.
And pick us
Without a
up.
doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
Meanwhile, they're letting murderers in, and all the empty jails and prisons and insane asylums across our border. They're looking at American.
Yep.
You know.
Do I sound better? I was just told in the chat that I was a little bit hot, and I thought he was referring to me, but he was actually talking about my audio.
Yeah, but that was a guy that said that.
I know. I got concerns for him anyways. So we can have that conversation too.
So remember, there's only two genders.
That's a damn. Oh, yeah. Unless you want to be a frog today. You know what I'm saying?
Or furry.
Dude, I did a show
The thing
on.
that amazes me, Rocky, is, and I can't hear a lot of what you're saying, but I'm catching the drift.
You triggered,
The thing
man.
that amazes me, even to this day, is people can look at the scenarios. We're talking about the 500-something things that took place prior to that, the Summer of Love, and then the J6, and have a completely different set of emotional standards on that thing because of the way the programming has taken place over the course of these last few years. Is it a pretty thing that there were people in the Capitol and some stuff got tore up? And no, I mean that's not pretty. But is it the same thing as Portland, as the police stations being set on fire and people being murdered? I mean, how many people lost their lives during the Summer of Love? And I don't know that number, but it was a bunch. It's not the same thing, not even close. But then you hear these people that have been completely programmed into the left side of it say, my God, it was worse than Pearl Harbor. Shut your mouth. Where does that come from?
D-Day, Pearl Harbor, I mean 9/11.
It's the worst day since the Civil War.
Yeah.
And people believe that shit, though. You know what I'm saying? They believe that, and that's the part I just didn't understand. And so it's almost like, how do you convince people? It's like, how do you convince them to say, okay, wait a minute, like you guys were just saying, what about all these times during some kind of a congressional hearing in some state somewhere, did Antifa or BLM go into those son of a bitches and stop the hearings?
And then if you mention Antifa, who are they? There's no such thing. But you mention the Proud Boys. Nazi white supremacists, nationalists and all this kind of garbage.
Dude, I'm so burnt out of the name calling stuff, man. It's so Trump wasn't president for 24 hours, and the whole Nazi bullshit rhetoric already started. And it's when are we going to become big people? When are we going to become big people?
Yeah.
So, brother, before I get too set up, because you and I, bro, we can really go off. I'm feeling your energy, bro, and I think we could talk for about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
I want to stay on topic here real quick and drift off.
Let's get back to the
Okay, so take us where you're at.
Yes. So we push down to the front and everything, and this is where the informants come in. I'm standing down there, and these two guys show up, big black guy and a white guy. and a white guy is holding the sign that says something very derogatory about Trump sleeps with his daughter or something to that extent. So people are getting pissed, right? And somehow or another, I got this guy that kind of gravitated to me in fatigues, and we were, standing next to each other. I go, watch this. So I walk over to him, and I got nose to nose with the guy, the black guy, and said, what the hell are you doing? Are you trying to incite a riot and all that? You don't belong here. Get the hell out of here. And as I was walking away, I took the sign away from the other guy. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
Yep.
Threw it in the air. They disappeared within 30 seconds. Gone. Boop. Walked away.
What?
Yep. In my disclosure, there's a picture of me in that man's face.
Discovery. Yeah, and his discovery for it.
In my discovery, before this all kicks off, they're in the crowd taking pictures of people. They tried to get people aggravated, and people were there to take pictures of it. Who knows if I wouldn't have stepped in toward the sign off that someone threw a punch or something like that, and you would have had a mayhay before the rally even started.
I didn't know this, bro. So they were
Think about the level of evil that is, right?
I mean, I was just thinking that the preparation of the planning, just to say, okay, so they were planning this. They had this shit planned out probably 6 months ahead of time.
Yes.
So we're out.
There is no doubt about it. This is entrapment. We were entrapped. We walked right into it, but we were entrapped.
So what happens now?
So the Trump comes up, he speaks, and he's like, we're going to go down to the Capitol and peacefully, make our voices heard and all that kind of stuff. So he gets done with the speech, and we start moving along down, trying to get down to the Capitol. The older people that I were with was in front of me, and I was walking behind them, watching them. Well, as I'm walking, there's these three Arab kids, and there's a group of gays for Trump standing there, and they're berating them and getting in their faces and all that. We'd throw you off the building if you were in our country. You will never go to heaven. God hates you. You're going to go to hell. All this kind of rhetoric.
So I want to throw in, if anybody thinks that kind of stuff is bullshit, I can go back and I can find the story that I told when I went down to a town in Minnesota where the entire town was Somalian, and the exact same thing happened to me, where they were saying I was forced out of the town. The law enforcement escorted me out of a town just because my presence wasn't welcome. That's no exaggeration, brother.
Absolutely. So I chase them off. I get in their face, intimidate them off, and they run out. And I'm getting hugs from the gays for Trump and everything.
Yep.
And at that point in time, the couple I was watching got ahead of me. So I lost sight of them. So I'm keep going. I'm walking down, and I'm trying to hustle. I figure I'd pick them up on the way. I never see them. So about halfway down, up in one of the big buildings, it's got the stairs that go way up. Someone's yelling, they just shot and killed a woman in the Capitol. So I don't know how fast that information was able to get out. Someone was listening to a police scanner or something. And this is just a theory I'm having. They were planting people along the way to let them know, because later on another person yelled, I think they shot another woman and her daughter. So they're building people up as they're walking down.
Because they know the second that there's a gunshot, they know that if they can create the element of chaos, they can continue. I mean, that is the perfect. People don't even realize in the chaotic moment that they're running like a bunch of cattle exactly where they're designed to run.
We were funneled, guys. We were funneled right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get past that. I'm real close to the Capitol. And when I walk up on the scene, it looked like a war scene. I've never been in war, but movie productions and all that kind of, it looked like there was a war going on. You got percussion grenades going off all over the place. You got tear gas. You got people running around. You got officers running around. It was complete mayhem. It was complete mayhem. And so by the time I got there, it had already kicked off. I'm thinking that maybe a few people just got into the Capitol, and because they were by themselves, they got ambushed. Okay, so my thought was is maybe if I can get more people in, maybe they won't do that in front of witnesses. That was my train of thought. So, but the thing is I had to get back to my bus. So there's no way I'm going inside. So I figured, hey, if I can occupy a few of them, maybe some people can get through or get by, in, out, whatever.
Yep.
So I get up and I walk up these stairs. I turn to the right, and I was up on a little bit of a riser. Now, like I said, I saw people, tear gassed and beat with batons and all this kind of stuff. And I'm upset. And plus, I'm assuming it was true that a woman got shot and killed.
After that moment, brother, everything changed, man. Everything changed.
Yeah. So I was a little aggravated, absolutely.
Yep.
And I don't believe, listen, and I'll tell you this right here. I've coached football for over 30 years.
You look like a football player. I was going to ask,
Okay.
but
But I had a lot of officers, police officers. I had friends, military people, all that kind of stuff. I never went that direction because I got injured early in football and I blew my knee completely out, anti-cruciate ligament replacement, the whole 9 yards. So neither one of them would take me. But that's who I am. I'm that guy in high school that you go to that you're getting bullied.
Yep.
And you come and get me.
Come get some, bro. I love it. Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yep.
That's just my attitude. Always been that way. Whatever. I don't use my size as an advantage to take advantage of other people. I use it to protect people.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen. Yep.
And that's who I am. That's who I am. That's who I've always been.
And we
So-
demonize that, bro. We demonize that shit. You know what I'm saying, dude? I've taken major shit, dude. We've helped the child one time that was kidnapped, and the police were livid because we helped the child. It's just like, well, because you were too busy worrying about your fucking policies, that child was in that home with that guy. You know what I'm saying? And so that child was at the mercy of that judge, getting that paperwork while he's at the golf course to sign that warrant. We didn't need a warrant. We went and got the kid.
Right. Exactly. The
know what I'm saying?
bureaucracy of it all.
Yep.
So I go up and there's an area where there's officers standing that are handing out supplies, spray and whatever. And listen, with all due respect, law enforcement, A1 in my view, I don't have an ounce of animosity, nothing. They do a great job. They're there to do their job. But where I separate that is when you overstep your bounds.
Amen.
Okay, and that badge doesn't matter. You're still a human being, and you should not use that power to be a tyrant.
Yeah, somebody asked me if I support the blue, and I says I support the blue to those that honor the blue with integrity.
Exactly, 110%.
Yep.
So, police is A1 in my book. I've got no, even to this day.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I got up a little speed and I ran and I jumped and I tackled 2 police officers.
Oh, bro, you went straight football.
Yeah, perfect form.
Oh, bro, I see it. It's weird. I can see it. Okay, all right, keep going.
There is a video of it out there.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I knock them down, and they swarm me. Okay, so I can't tell you if it was 5, if it was 7, so we'll just go with 6. Okay. They proceeded to bear spray me. I could eat that stuff for breakfast now. Even if I lifted my head up to get a breath, it's right in your mouth.
Yeah.
They blinded me with that stuff. And then they kicked my ass. They batoned me over 30 strikes.
Holy
I
shit.
had bruises.
Oh.
Okay, and I got the pictures to prove it. So at that point in time, I'm exhausted. I'm done. I'm not a young man. At that time, I was 56, I guess. I'm 59 now. I get up, and they leave me alone. Boom, leave me alone. And now I'm standing on the stage, and to get off the stage, I could have came the way I went, but it was a different direction that I was focused on. There was a line of police officers there with their backs to me, looking out at the crowd. So I had to get through them to get off the stage. So I backed in, hands up, backed into them, worked my way through.
Yep. Did everything you could to show not aggression.
Yeah. And they turned all that into that I punched the police, I elbowed the police, I choked the police, headbutted the police, I went back in for more and turned all that. After I jumped and tackled the police officers, that's where the story ends.
Yep.
Okay?
Nothing
Nothing after that ever happened. Okay? Lies. All right? As I'm walking through, my hand, like I said, I'm a tall guy, my hand gets caught under the shield of an officer. And I didn't know it right at the time, but I check it and it's a female officer. And for me to get my hand out from underneath, I had to lift my hand up, which lifted her visor up, and she had a strap, not a chin strap, a strap around her neck. So it lifted her helmet up. And they said in the audio recording, you could hear her gurgle.
Oh.
But that only happened for 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
No, and
I got my hand out from underneath it. And
I say this respectfully, man. That's just comes with being a cop.
yeah.
That's
Well, number one, you're not wearing the proper equipment. You don't have a strap around your neck. You have a chin strap.
yeah, but I appreciate everybody who wants to be an officer, but sooner or later, man, you're gonna meet some real men.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I go down to step off the stage. I turn my back to them. And as I take my first step down off the stage, I get cracked over the top of the head from an elevation with a baton. I mean, he whacked the living crap out of me. So I got startled and surprised, and I turned my head to see who did it, and his eyes were this big. He was like, "Oh man, I gave him my all, and he didn't go down."
Baton, bro.
Yeah. And he took another whack at me and hit me across the temple and across the face.
Did it split you?
No. And that's what I think he was surprised, is that I didn't get no blood, no nothing. I got bruised up, some knots on my head, that's for sure.
But damn.
And that was it. I was done.
That was a baton, though. If people realize if you ever held a baton, it's a piece of steel.
Yeah. It's made to make people hurt.
It's made to knock you the hell out.
Yeah.
You didn't knock the hell out. And the cop was wondering why you didn't knock the hell out, bro.
Yeah. So right at that point in time, too, a tear gas canister drops between my legs and goes, boof!
Oh.
Right? And then I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. That all took 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's so much. That's so much happening all in that short of a time. Do tear gas on the nuts, all the shit to the face, the baton to the head. Oh, my God, bro.
And then... story's still not over. Story is still not over. I leave there and I bust my ass to get down to the down to the buses, and there's 2 BLM members there harassing the bus people.
The old people.
The old people.
Of course. Yeah, it wasn't old.
By this time, I've lost my shirt. I've lost my jacket. I'm running around half naked.
Yep.
And I interacted with them, and I know what proper procedure is. You don't put your hands on somebody. Once you put your hands on, it turns the tables, turns the situation. So this guy reaches out and he makes contact with one of the people from the bus. So he ended up on his head, and that was the end of my day. And then a 14-hour bus ride home, drenched in bear spray. The next morning, the next shower was brutal because it activates it all again. I come to find out you got to use goat's milk to get that all off you. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I know that, bro. Unfortunately, I know that. Damn, dude.
So basically, that's it for that part. For January 6th, that was my participation.
It's quite a bit, though. That's quite a package, man. And the thing, though, is what I really, really, really need to get. And by the way, Roger Rabbit over there in the chat room, he said, this is fascinating to hear the first-hand account of this. He said, thank you for sharing your story. So that was Mr. Roger Rabbit over there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now I forgot what the hell I was going to say. I can't remember what I was going to say, bro.
Getting old there?
Oh yeah. Oh, well,
No, it's called the Rockyism.
No, it's called the Rockyism. It's when I do radio, we call it the ADHD of talk radio because
you do not have to with me. Okay, I do the same exact thing. The 5 concussions that I've had probably have a lot to do with it, but yeah.
That's what I was going to say, though, bro. Is
Mid sentence, I'm like, where the hell was I?
mid sentence. That's
Yes.
you'd be right in the middle of the thing and be like, and gone, just gone. Like right now, I'm fighting right now to bring it back again, right?
Isn't this called killing time until that comes back, right?
That's what we do. Seriously, there's some magic in radio, bro. We have techniques. You know what I mean? So what I wanted to point out is that once, and I wasn't there, and I don't know.
And that's the thing. If you are not there, you have no, I'm sorry, friggin' right to make an opinion on it.
Correct.
You don't know.
And this is what I want people to know is that, I will say that after the gunshot, I think for me, most people that don't understand chaos, right, or don't have the mental capacity to deal with chaos, which is most people, we think we can, until we're in a moment where shit's blown up and there's pepper spray everywhere and there's windows getting bashed out and there's a dead girl on the floor, right? We think we're good shit and we can do the Hollywood shit until it's time to do Hollywood shit.
Wait, and I've got to do this, and I apologize.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ashley Babbitt.
Ashley Babbitt.
Okay. And Roseanne Boyle.
Roseanne Boyle.
She passed away also. 2 other gentlemen passed away from heart attacks because the concussion grenades went off by them. Stopped their heart. 4 people were murdered that day.
Yeah, we don't hear a lot about that.
No officers lost their lives that day. And the day after, a guy had a stroke, and they blamed it all on.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there was 4 medicals with civilians or officers. All of them were natural, but they made it sound like all 4 of them were from the rioters. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
So I wanted to point that out. Is that moment of chaos? It's crazy, and so it's not like everybody was there being like, okay, everybody, let's be rational. Let's everybody calm down. No, it's you were at the element of chaos.
And that wasn't there. And they had the capabilities of doing that with speaker system. No one came on that speaker system and tried to tone it down. No one. They let it go. They let it pop off.
So where do you go from here now? So you got incarcerated for this.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've been incarcerated for 2 years?
2 years, and I got 5 years for tackling the 2 police officers. I got 2 111As, which they consider a non-violent, violent. It's a wishy-washy because
right.
You get something that's called the First Step Act if you're a non-violent offender, and I qualified for that.
Okay.
So no one got seriously injured.
He qualified for that because he was a law-abiding citizen, which means that the courts are willing to work with him on some stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that you're even in the court in the first place was wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so where are you at I don't want to use the word emotionally. Where are you at? In the mind, going through this experience and then being detained for 2 years because of this, knowing the bullshit. Do you feel this conviction to fight the injustice, meaning legally? You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
It's because
I plan on getting involved. I'd like to run for office, do all the things that can be done. I'd like to change Broward County, Florida, where we're from blue to red.
The communist capital of Florida.
So.
Brother, I'm really close to you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of close. I think I'm closer to you than Glenn. Am I, Glenn? So I'm in Hudson Beach. So wherever you are from Hudson Beach is where I'm at. You don't need to say where you're at, but I'm in Hudson Beach. So if we have the capabilities of meeting up and having a cigar, we need to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
We need to do that.
I'd be down for that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, brother. So I had some friends, Don Newen and Don at Fiducia.
Mm-hmm.
That were.
I've done a podcast why I was in the gulag. Now that's the second part of the story. If we want to do that now, great. If
yeah, come on.
If we do another one, that's fine too. So that's all said and done. I get arrested, Broward County Jail, and get indicted and all that kind of stuff. Now, for me getting arrested, they rused me to go to the post office to pick up a package. And I got surrounded by 5 police officers with a gun to the back of my head.
They got you out of the house.
Yeah, I was at work. So,
Sneaky.
So I get to Miami, the federal prison in Miami. And then I'm there for 2 weeks, and then they ship me out. It took me from the day I walked into prison to the day to get to the DC gulag, like 68 days. In 7 different locations.
What?
Yeah. It's called diesel therapy. They keep popping you, moving you around, a little bit here, a little bit. Never long enough to get commissary, so they starve you. Okay? And luckily, people understand that, and they'll help you out and give you some food and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, 68 days. Past DC twice. They took me all the way to Philadelphia, sent me there. Yeah, and that's big boy prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big
Yeah,
boy prison.
bro.
Yeah. And then sent me past it again to Virginia and kept me there for 2 weeks, and then sent me to DC to the gulag. So I got a year in the gulag.
When he was saying commissary, and correct me if I'm wrong, brother, but what he was referring to is that you have to be in a certain amount of time before you can order. There's certain things you can order, like coffee and just little miscellaneous things. But you have to be there a certain amount of time before you can order. Otherwise, you're at the mercy of eating the bread with the little piece of butter and whatever kind of little bit of food they put, a little miniature hamburger they put on. I saw a documentary. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I wouldn't know that.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. I'm sorry you went through that, man. And
You would think this would be the opposite, but I ended up gaining 100 pounds. Because in DC, they fed you soy. Everything was soy. I got boobies.
Oh.
All estrogen. And then you got the estrogen in the water and all that kind of stuff. Because
What
there's
do
a
they-
women,
what do they
there's
try
a
to-
women prison there too.
what did they try doing to you, bro?
That type of food is only made for like a week. They fed it to us, some of us, for 3 years.
Is there any study on prolonged consumption of that?
I heard it's not good for you after a certain amount of time.
I don't even know what we eat anymore that's actually real food, to tell you the truth.
No. Well, that goes back to the commissary too. Whatever's on the commissary, it's all crap.
Yep.
All ultra processed and high in sodium and all that kind of stuff. Dude, and then you got the bonbons and the Twinkies and the cupcakes. Okay. You're sitting in a cell 23 hours a day with nothing to do
But eat.
because they took my dip away.
Did they allow vaping in
No. I take Ambien to go to sleep. I've taken it for over 20 years.
Yep.
I have not had a proper sleep since this all started. And then you sleep on a mat that's this big,
Yep.
no pillow. And I mean, from here to here, that's a long way. So,
Yep.
dude, I'm so jacked up, it's not even funny. So, DC, by the time I get there, it's been cleaned up a little bit, and it's not so horrible it was for the first year. They keep us in one area called the Patriot Pod. There's about 40 of us there.
Okay.
In and out, some in, some out, and they keep us an average of about 40. And we had one. I'll keep the bashing of the CEOs and all that to a minimum. They're they got to do what they got to do. But we had this one woman that would come in, and so the place is quiet. You got a hum of a fan, no windows open. So you got a little bit of a breeze that's coming in under your door. She'd come in and turn the fan off. Well, I don't sleep, so immediately I would hear it. I'd get up and, when some conversations, why are you doing that? That's not there for you. It's hot in here, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she turns this into a game. This went on for 3 months. She'd come in and turn the fan off. And then she started retaliating because we all got on to some superiors and told them what was going on.
Oh yeah. Daddy issues, huh?
She would come around at 3:00 in the morning and bang on the doors as she was walking her, because they got to walk around every hour and flash the flashlight in your eyes while you're trying to sleep. And then she'd bang on the damn door.
Dude, I know a lot of people that are guards at different, I don't think I know a lot of maximum security people. Your typical, minimum security prisons and stuff. They're good people. They're really, really good people that are just working a job. And they tell me stories of these egotistical, narcissistic psychopaths that were You had
The women were much worse.
Dude, I say that.
Both organizations. The women were brutal.
Yep, dude, same thing. I just talked about this on the show, dude. The new HR version, it's like there's a different breed. There's a different mentality. This anti-man type of shit, dude. And it's pretty fucking crazy.
They were man haters. They were man haters. The majority of them.
It's real.
So we found out that she supported Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
Of course.
Right? So we started calling her Fan-Tifa.
You got a couple extra knocks on the
And it stuck because the other CEOs know who we were talking about, and they would talk about her back to us, and they call her Fan-Tifa.
So should we make a T-shirt and send it to her?
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
That was Glenn's idea, by the way. Glenn,
that was your idea. Sending her a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we decided one night. I mean, it got so bad that it's not just me aggravated. Everybody's aggravated because of the breeze. We could pop ourselves, like if you had something like a credit card. Some of them could. So those guys would come and get out, and they popped all our cells the one night she was there, and we all came out and sat down, and she flipped out. She called everybody and their brother. They come running in, bear spray in hand and all that. We're sitting there all nice and calm. And we basically told the lieutenants that she's got to go. She's got to go because someone's going to end up getting hurt. You know.
It's almost like they're almost kind of antagonizing that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
so they can continue to create
exactly what she was doing.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. She probably purposely sat there. And that's the saddest thing, man, is that you don't want to think that that's real. And again, it's not an anti-anything type of comment. It's just growing up, my views on what we represented in a whole as a nation are not what I was taught, dude. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And that's the representation of a corrupt government, though. That has nothing to do with the mentality of the American people because we're resilient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you guys kind of just let her know it, and that was the way you had to do it. You had to literally get out and at a very inappropriate time. You said it was middle of the night.
Yeah, it was like 3:00 in the morning.
That's not
lieutenants weren't happy about that part.
No, dude. Pants because they probably thought that you guys were probably getting ready to to hold the fort. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, somebody pooped, bro. Somebody definitely took a poop that night.
Yeah, she did. She flipped out. All right. So other than that, there was here's one thing that they did to us also is they kept putting Antifa members in our pod.
What?
Yes. They put a total of 5 in the year that I was there. They put 4 Antifa members in there. They had done it once before I got there. 5 Antifa members in with our pod.
Did anything remarkable happen?
We got them kicked out. We had them, you sign yourself out. That means you got to go to a special place that's more kind of like solitary,
Mm-hmm.
The majority of them signed themselves out. We had one guy that refused to sign himself out, and that ended up in a little bit of a mayhem. I got stabbed with a pen and went to the shoe over it.
Yep.
And but they were doing stuff to antagonize us.
Yeah, that life is real, bro.
Absolutely.
90% of people in this nation will never really understand this. And when we talk about there's not segregation, but self-segregation in the prison system, and a lot of the alcoholics are all black and all white and all this.
The cars.
Yeah.
You got your cars. You got the white car.
Yep.
You got the black car. You got the Hispanic car.
Yep.
I'll tell you right now, the black car and the Hispanic car treated me better than the white car did.
Yep.
Because I wasn't going to conform to what they, I kept to myself.
Yep.
I talked to anybody I wanted to.
That's right.
All that. I got threatened that, if I spoke to the cops that I'd get jumped and all this kind of stuff.
And the thing about a lot of people in there is those threats are pretty real.
Oh yeah, they're real.
They're not people that are, that you went to school with that are just some schmuck that drink too much one night. These are people some of these are very dangerous criminals. You know what I mean? And
it happened to one guy in our unit once. They beat the shit out of him because he wouldn't check out. And they tore him up pretty good.
No kidding.
Of course, it was the smallest guy in our unit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And I know why you were respected, brother. I know why you were respected because you were a benefit. You know what I'm talking about. I don't even know why I'm. So, all right.
I
So,
appreciate that.
Yep.
So here, now it's time for my sentencing.
yep.
So the police officer that testified against me, he comes walking down the hall in view of my daughter and my son-in-law. And he sits down, and before I get in there and everything like that, and then the judge calls for the witness to come up. He gets up like, and walks down with a limp and all this kind of. Meanwhile, when coming and going in and out of the courtroom, he was fine. He was walking,
of course.
you know, all this kind of stuff. So he had the nerve to ask the judge. Meanwhile, I ruined his career and made him retire 3 years later. Okay. He had the gall to ask the judge to denounce my citizenship, that because I'm a Proud Boy, that I'm a gang member.
Do you do the same thing to Crip members and Bloods and One Percenters and everything else?
The judge gave me 10 more months because I was a Proud Boy. So my plea agreement was 41 to 51 months. I got 60 months.
And I am literally purposefully not saying much right now because anything that wants to come out of my mouth is probably just not what I want to say, because this shit, dude, it grows old, man. It grows old because you were probably, I watched the same thing happen with the Oath Keepers. I knew a bunch of Oath Keepers. I didn't know the organization internally. I just knew people that were members, and I knew where their heart was. And their heart was the love for our country and its citizens. All of them.
Absolutely.
All of them.
And Trump did say that today. He says those people are patriots. So.
But we have a media in this country that labels its fellow citizen, and this is media. This is mainstream media. This is the part that blows my mind, is that this type of propaganda bullshit's allowed to even happen, to have the mainstream media sit there and label and decharacterize. I mean, it's like I have an opinion about somebody opposite of me, and I get crucified just for having an opinion, and it's just like, okay, so you had an affiliation with somebody, or you went and did this, or you were here for that one day. Why is everybody walking around like they all shit glitter?
But here's the thing is I wasn't a Proud Boy January 6th. I became one after.
Because of it.
Absolutely.
Like a fuck you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, I was trying to get involved prior to it. I went to the December 12th rally in D.C.
Yep.
And a bunch of Proud Boys showed up. And I was like, okay, I researched it. I had done a little research prior to that, but then I really started researching it to find out who they were and what they stood for. And, you hear the good, you hear the bad, the white supremacists and all that kind of stuff. I'll tell you right now, I've met hundreds of Proud Boys. They're not white supremacists.
Right.
They're not nationalists.
Right.
Okay? They love this country and they're patriots. A lot of them, military.
Dude, there's some people that live up north that still think that there's
Ex-military. We wouldn't, that's
Right.
one of the criterias,
Yep.
law enforcement wasn't allowed and active duty wasn't allowed. You had to be retired.
for good reason.
Yeah.
There's legitimate reason behind that, man.
Yeah.
A very legitimate reason. Bro,
Did you meet Enrique the first time at that rally we did in Pompano Beach together, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I was there when they met the first
I'm
time.
under Enrique. I was part of his organization in Miami, and then we opened another chapter in Broward County.
oh, so is the
They
organization?
didn't want me, Rocky. They didn't say they were not proud midgets.
Dude, I didn't say that, bro. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He was offered, so don't.
I didn't say I
don't go
didn't
there.
M-word though. You know what I'm saying? I said
No, you didn't go there. He did it.
I know.
See, I knew the Rockyism was going to be going before too long, so I wanted to get ahead of it.
I can see some shit ready to go down. And a bunch of dudes there, all 6'9", and all of a sudden here comes Baker. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what I'm saying right now.
No, you keep covering your mouth.
That's funny, bro. What's up, bro?
You got the gist of it when you started doing this, though.
Oh my God,
Real,
he's so
real,
pissed right now.
real quick, if I could, I told the guys that I would do this if I ever, had the opportunity to do this. And Rocky, I really
Hey, Bill, I
appreciate
do.
the
The
opportunity.
mic is yours, bro. Say whatever
You
you
know,
got to say, man.
I want to shout out to the E unit at Ashland, Kentucky prison where I was at for my last year, and also shout out to the boys, the J6er group that we were together. There's 7 of us at the end. Shout out to them, and love you guys, and take care.
If you were asked to give all your brothers that you've had that you've had this experience with over the years, you met a lot of people that were fighting the same fights as you.
Absolutely.
Dude, I just felt you when you said that, by the way. And this is why I'm asking you to say this. If they needed hope, or if they needed encouragement, or for those that are in that spot right now where they just don't know what the fuck to do, you know what I'm saying? Because this shit is so fucking overwhelming, bro. What would you say to them?
If not, if you could get a hold of Glenn Baker, and anybody needs any help that's out there that have felt like you've been left behind, I got this golden opportunity to, and like I said, I really appreciate it. Reach out. We'll get you in touch with people. There are people out there that are willing to help. And I got another shout out real quick to a young lady that kept me sane because she was part of the J6 community. If I needed any answers, if I needed commissary, if I needed anything, Jen Baker was there for me. Yeah,
No,
not a sister. No. But wonderful, wonderful, wonderful young woman.
Jen Baker.
Jen Baker.
And in regards to Jen Baker, and throughout the years, and I've done a lot of events where I showed up, and Don Newen, Donna Fiducia from Cowboy Logic Radio, they're really involved in a lot of the J6ers. I mean, on the phone.
I did a show with them while I was in DC.
Yeah, and they were just hard advocates this entire time.
Yeah.
And so let me add on to what you were saying there, brother, because I'm grateful for all those that were the advocates, because being an advocate towards people that were being held as political prisoners, being a vocal advocate for that, understand the patriotic courage it takes, because even though a lot of people in their hearts felt the same as you,
Yeah.
they didn't have the mental fortitude to fight that fight and risk, because even people that fought for justice and still are fighting for justice are being attacked.
Everybody out there that has helped the J6 hostages,
Yeah.
my heartfelt thanks goes out to each and every single one of you, because you guys were our rock. You had people coming to the prisons to visit, and helping on outside communication, helping with funds. I mean, there's a lot of women, like one of my buddies there, who's also a Proud Boy at Kentucky with me, Jim Bob, young, just got married and had 2 twins. And he was the breadwinner, and they took him away. So the community came together and blessed them to help pay those bills and everything. And
Well, let me ask you, brother. So
God bless you all that you've done that.
let me ask you there, bro. You were talking about that. So how are you? I mean, so you've been gone now a couple of years, and now you're coming out, and I'm going to assume you probably don't have a job, right? I mean, there's
I've lost everything.
everything.
Rocky, let me throw
I'm
something.
crashing on this young man's bed for a couple days until.
Yep. No, and I wanted to go because Glenn brought something up earlier, that there is something. You guys, do you have a fund going right now? Glenn, give everybody an update. Go ahead, Glenn.
Update on any type of fund or anything that's going on?
Well, that's the thing. I want to talk to you real quick, Rocky, because I can't hear what you're saying. I got my hearing aid tuned up, even I can't hear nothing. So let me throw this out. Many of these people, I've been there. I came back after only 73 days and pretty much had lost everything that I had. He's been away for 2 years.
2 years. 2 years.
What he's wearing and the phone over there that his kids bought for him is what he's got. That's it.
I can
Pretty much
empathize.
so.
Yeah.
You've recently gone through some real hell.
Yeah.
We've been there. Y'all, this is the biggest charade in my lifetime that the government's ever pulled that I've been able to witness. And here's you and I've been through a lot together, Rocky, in the last 6, 7 months. And here's what I tell people: get up off your butt. You know, we've had freedom so easy up until in my case, in 2017. In these guys' cases, for sure, January 6th. Freedom's been easy. It is not easy for everybody right now. And if it's easy for you, good for you. It's not easy for everybody. Get up off your butt and do something. Well, Glenn, don't ask me for money. Things are tight. You ain't got any idea what tight is until you got nothing. Not a place to lay your head, not a $5 to go get a cup of coffee or something to eat, not clothes to wear, nothing.
Yeah, you kind of, when you have the world stripped from you, you see the world differently. You know what I mean? You see the world differently, brother. So do you have something planned, or is there something established, or are you going to?
You've got to Give, Send, Go right now. Do you know what it is?
It is Coach 54 at Give, Send, Go.
Okay, so make sure you send that to me in a text, and I'm going to craft a whole article on this interview, and I'll put highlights in there, and I'll add this interview, and I'll make that link.
I didn't hear that.
He's going to put an article together with that, and we're going to get it over to him on a text.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I'll put everything together. Let me get him on there one more time. I just want to thank him really quick,
You
Christian.
got it, buddy.
Oh, there's the squish. I heard the squish, bro. I heard the squish.
Squish.
Hey, brother, I just wanted to get you on one more time really quick. This platform is open for you, man. So you just let me know what's happening, what's going on. If there's stories that come up, if there's interviews, if there's articles we need to push, let me know whatever it takes, because we need justice to be justice. We really do.
Yeah. And I do want to say real quick that as soon as the J6ers are taken care of, we've got this great community of people that have come together for a purpose and for a reason. God's probably put them in the places that they are at. We don't stop. We go to, next is North Carolina, and help all those people out there, and just keep this blessing moving forward. It doesn't just have to be us anymore. We can do wonderful things because of the coalition of people that have come together.
Yeah, we did an event, and this is what he means by this. We did an event one time. It was called we did a red flag convoy around the Twin Cities. And we had my brother-in-law show up, and he was a black guy. He was nervous to show up. I had 600 people show up, man, 600 cars show up. It was crazy. So what you saw was nothing but a red wave of patriots. You're right. And to me, man, that gives me goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? That makes me start crying when I see all those flags like that. And he was afraid for his life because of what he was taught. And he showed up and he came up to me after the event, and he was just set aside. And I says, well, what's wrong? He says, it wasn't the first person out of all those people. It was literally the first person I walked by came up and hugged me like we were family. I'm like, what's the problem? He was like, I go,
It blew his mind.
what's the problem, bro?
It blew his mind.
I says, welcome to the world that
Because
you lied about.
he listened to that left side rhetoric that we're all evil and that we're the master race and all that bullshit.
He went red, bro. He went red. Yeah,
Sorry.
he was in tears. He was in tears because he was so pissed off that he was nervous to show up. And then, half an hour later, there he was all over the place, bro. Like, he knew everybody and shit. Yeah, I'm like, bro, calm down a little bit. A little aggressive on the first day. You know what I'm saying? Glenn looks so serious,
Slow
right?
down, slow down. I'm excited.
It was great, brother. And so any of those movements, bro. So we got a lot of things going on with Stucci Media, working with a ton of veterans on a lot of causes that they're fighting for as well.
Yeah.
So all this, dude, it just interblends, because at the end of the day, what we want to know that our children are safe in their own homes. We want to know that we can go to the grocery store without, having to worry about being shot or killed. And that people, when we run across people, that we can have differences in opinion and still be good people with one another, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we want. We don't want to blow shit up. We don't want to
Hold the door. Do a good deed every day. Hold the door open for somebody and tell them good morning with a smile on your face. You wouldn't believe the reaction that you get back, and they're like, "Oh my God, did you just do that?"
Yeah.
People put those blinders on and say, let me just walk this little
That's right.
row. I'm
right.
not going to go here. I'm not going to go here. And open your minds, people, and find out what is going on in your country.
Amen. Amen.
Get involved.
Get involved. You want to know what you want, got to do. Everybody says, what can I do? Well, you got to get involved. So folks, man, I appreciate you all staying here. This ain't going to be the last time you see Ken. And of course, we have Mr. Glenn looking all serious as shit over there. I have no idea what he's even thinking about right now, but he's looking mean. Look at him, bro. Look at how serious he's looking right now.
Don't look at me and point when I can't hear you.
He's like, look at him all serious over there.
Serious. But there's more updates. And
He's bossing out over here.
Oh, bro, you flexing on me now, bro? Yeah, he is. He actually shook his head of proper timing on that one. So, brother, keep us updated on any updates on what you have going on. And of course, you know what? We'll probably have you on again here real soon. And when you're ready to start your show, bro, you just let me know. We'll get you a program right on Stucci Media, and we'll get you distributed out there and continue your message and your fight, bro. So
Now, I can't sing like he does, but I can carry a tune maybe. So, I mean,
well, bro, you're doing great right now, man. That's all you know what I'm saying? I can't sing either, so we're gonna.
That's a lie. I've heard you. I still think the Bing Crosby thing is going to work.
Dude, how did he just hear me when he has?
I was reading your lips. I can't hear you, but I was reading your lips.
I'm worried about that.
ooh.
I'm worried about that.
Serious now.
Tell me about the good old days.
About the good old days. Wow, bro, I just came up with that shit. So, Ken, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. And all of you that are watching, man, I will make sure, and please, if you can, whatever it is, everybody, you know what? We've all known the situations. We've seen what Glenn has gone through with all the bullshit. We know what it's like, and there's so many people that are fighting through this shit, right? So if you can, whatever it is, I'll have the links in the articles. If you can click, if you can, 5, 10, 15, 1,000, whatever you got, help the brother out, help him get reset. It was an injustice, and nobody deserves to live the way he is because of the acts of somebody we trusted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with that being said, I appreciate you. Don't forget, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., you have me, the emotional meatball, Rocky Stucci, the Rocky Stucci Show, and of course, just watch right here on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So with that being said, folks, on behalf of Ken, on behalf of Glenn, I am Rocky Stucci, the Rocky Stucci Show. From my family to yours, much love, much respect. Until next time, don't forget rule number 1. Don't take shit from nobody. I love you guys.
Love you, Rocky. Thank you.
Boom.